I was just about to speak. Okay. Um, oh, we were just live for a second ago. Oh, we are right now? I'm gonna have to mute this. Okay, well, seeing that we are live right now here from Long Beach Local News. Hi, Long Beachers, how are you doing? We know we are in really weird and tough times right now, so we wanted to share some good news here. So today, joining us here, we've got Jessie Smith from Georgia's Greek Cafe. Thank you so much for joining us here because you've been doing some incredible work donating food. So we really wanted to dive into that more. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much for having me today.
Yeah, so we've been seeing you've been creating quite a storm, you and your team at George's Greek Cafe. You've been doing food donations and you've also been even receiving donations yourself. Talk to us a little bit more as to like how that happened and who you're donating to and why and how. Of course, we know why, but
Yeah, absolutely. First, I just want to say thank you for having me. We at George's are super grateful for our owners and our family and the ability to reach out to the community that like we have. So a few things that we've been doing is first and foremost, we did have to lay off the majority of our staff, because we are closed like every other restaurant. But we've been allowing them to do groceries or hot food completely for free from our restaurants since the closure, which I think has really helped out. And also any tips that we get on our takeout, we give directly to our staff. That's every single dollar goes to our staff to help them with their rent, their bills, their car payments, anything that it is that they need. Because our staff is our family here. I was mentioning to you earlier, so many of my staff have worked here for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. So they are not just employees, they are family members. And having them not in the building has been devastating. And we just want to make sure that they understand that we're going to take care of them and make sure that they're, not going to struggle, as much as we can do. And beyond the staff, we have been trying to reach out to the community, to those that are really hurting, because so many people were living paycheck to paycheck and unfortunately didn't have a savings account. And even if they had a great job, within a few days, they don't have, enough to buy food for their family. So our owners, as I mentioned, are fantastic. And we do hot food donations to seniors or kids or really anybody that's in need. But we also have something called grocery boxes, which are prepackaged. They have a loaf of bread or pita bread, a dozen eggs, milk, 3 pounds of tomatoes, 3 pounds of rice, butter, some mixed greens, our house-made salad dressing, and we just take that out to families. And if they can afford to give something, then great. If not, it's completely free of charge. And like I said, the owners have donated quite a few of those, but we've also had amazing, amazing gifts from our guests and our staff. That staff that I mentioned are laid off. If I give them $50, majority of them are giving 25 back and telling it to give back to the community, which is just incredible. And then we have so many guests that will purchase a grocery box and we just have it laid up. And so when somebody gives me a call, then we just make sure that it goes out free. And the way I'm matching people up with those is I'm getting daily messages on my Facebook account, daily, from single moms who are, staying in hotel rooms, or seniors who live in the villages of Cabrillo that just don't have anything. And we just send them out, and it's been amazing.
wow, it's on so many points there that you have just shared. It really sounds like a big family that you have here at George's Greek Cafe, providing for the community. And also it's really heartwarming to hear how people are also wanting to get involved to help and donate. And going to your first point, perhaps let's touch upon the whole, staff aspect. A lot of small businesses right now are really suffering when it comes to meeting and meet, as well as basic needs for the people as such. And how are you finding that you are able to still thrive and survive? Are you finding yourself also much busier right now in this time, or not as busy when it comes to deliveries and takeouts and such?
Well, our takeout has definitely gone up a little bit, but the overall sales are a huge drop. We have been around in the community for 20 years, so we're probably operating at about 30% of sales, which, like I said, our owners have done some incredible things. They took money out of their retirement, took money against their house to help us pay for these bills. And, we definitely couldn't operate without their kindness and their generosity. It wouldn't work. But we are set up in a way that our food is very takeout friendly, and we have very, very loyal guests that have been coming in to see us. We're operating still with our happy hour and our Monday night half off wine specials. We haven't changed any of that stuff. And we're just trying to keep a positive mindset, because there is some good that could come of this. People are getting to spend some time with their families. I have staff that, like I said, they've been working 6 days a week for a long time. And although it's tough for them to be laid off, they're saying like it's great to be able to spend some time with their families. So we're really working towards figuring out a plan to make that work once we do reopen. We're just trying to see the good in what's happening and not focus on the negative, because it's far too easy to do that.
Absolutely. And it's great to hear that you are still continuing as such, as if you were operating under normal circumstances with your happy hours and meals that you provide. Like, you are actually also offering a free kids meal per adult entree purchase.
Yeah.
Which is also...
I'm sorry.
No, this is absolutely heartwarming if you want to go more into it.
I was going to say, it is with any entree purchase, but also if there's any kids that just need food, they don't have to have an entree purchase. Like, if there's a hungry kid out there, if there's a family that says they can't feed their kids, we're not going to make you spend money to make sure that your kids are fed. George, I don't know if I mentioned this live or if I was just mentioning it to you earlier, but he passed away, early or late last year. And he was the kindest, most generous, most loving person I've ever met in my whole life. And that's what he would want us to do. That's what he felt like George's was about family and generosity and being loving and smiling. And so that's what we're really trying to pass on to Long Beach in these tough times.
I'm sure he's really looking down and smiling right now, just as he is in the background of your picture there, right? Is that George there in the back?
Yes. It's when he was 21.
Oh, wow. Did he start the business at 21?
He didn't, but that was his, I think that's his wedding photo at 21. And then right beside was when he was 82 or 81 in that picture, I think. He actually came to the States in the 1980s. He grew up in Greece and then lived in Zimbabwe, Africa. He raised his kids in Africa, and they came over here with like $500 in their pocket and, started from scratch. They truly lived the American dream and are trying to keep that going, I think.
Absolutely. And you have 3 locations as well as the one in the Long Beach airport. Mm-hmm. You were mentioning you have a little cafe stop there, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And you were saying that it's also been voted as one of the, if not actually the best airport food.
Yeah. I think 2 years in a row. 2 years in a row.
So that's pretty cool right now. Not to say that a lot of people are there right now at the airport, but if you do pass it, George's Cafe is there too.
Absolutely.
And so you also mentioned that you are still continuing like your Sunday brunch and happy hours. How does that work? Not being able to actually sit in the cafe, or are people sitting in the cafe, or how is that looking right now?
No.
Yeah.
Nobody's allowed in the building at all. Each store is set up differently. So how people come and pick up the food is very different, but we're operating super safe. We have plexiglass in front of the windows so that there's a barrier. All of our staff is wearing masks. We have hand sanitizer, both the pumps and the wipes, to make sure that everybody's safe. The only thing that we're not doing is the brunch. We don't offer that because that was a self-serve, and we're actually putting a plan together to figure out how we're going to do that in the safest way once we reopen. But everything else, like the half-off wines, the Kids Eat Free Tuesday in Lakewood, we're actually going to do our Kleptico special for the first time this Friday.
What is that exactly?
So we're known the most for our lamb chops, right? They're grass-fed, organic New Zealand lamb, and you can get those day or night every day. But we have a slow roasted lamb special that is Greek shoulder. It's cooked over really low temperatures for 6 to 8 hours. Super, super tender, kind of like a Greek style pot roast, and comes with oven roasted potatoes and a small Greek salad. We haven't done that since the closure, and we're going to do it this Friday, which is exciting because we get phone calls all the time. We used to sell out by like 8 p.m. every Friday. It's an incredible.
Oh my. Oh my. Okay, like I'm really starting to get hungry. I really want to have lunch there right now. That sounds incredible. So as from Friday, you've got that amazing lamb chop coming up.
Yep.
And what are the items, just as a final before we do go, and what are the items do you have on the menu? What can people really be appealed to? What are the favorites, let's say?
I'd say, well, some Greek items is going to be the spanakopita and the dolmates. The dolmates are the grape leaves wrapped over ground beef and rice, and those are made from scratch. The spanakopita is spinach and feta cheese and little phyllo dough if you're vegetarian, or even if you're not, they're delicious. But I'd say our skewers are probably second to our lamb chops. There we have chicken, beef, lamb, or shrimp skewers, and the meals come with a small salad, pita bread, and your choice of French fries or rice. And we have feta cheese and garlic fries too, which are unbelievable.
Incredible. Well, we've had a few comments here in our live stream chat, and Ali Valentovic, I'm sorry if I butchered your surname. Thanks for the shout out there. You've got, she was saying, or he was saying, sorry, Ali was saying, love the Loizides. Am I saying this correct?
Yeah.
Loizides and George's Greek Cafe staff. So you're getting some love right there from our platform. And so finally, before we let you go, how can people support and continue? What are the ordering platforms that people can approach you on, or how can they contact you? And also, how can they help others who are in need?
Absolutely. So first of all, everything is available at www.georgesgreekcafe.com, and you can access any three of our restaurants that way and order online. It also has all of our phone numbers, but we are available on Postmates, DoorDash, and then as of today, we're available on Grubhub. We just added that one as well. You can also call in rather than go to the website, or come up and order. We had really safe things, like I mentioned before, the plexiglass, and we have the 6 feet barrier. So if you want to come in and order and step off and wait for your food, you're more than welcome to do that as well. And as for supporting, we appreciate the business in any way we can get it. But if you really want to help the community, we are taking donations for just gift cards. You can buy a gift card and we keep that, and we'll supply hot food for anybody in need. Or you can purchase a grocery box, which is $39 and comes with most of the things I mentioned. I may have forgotten a few, but feel free to give the stores a call and we can go through it with you. And you can add on 4 pounds of raw chicken, 2 pounds of ground beef, or 24 bottles of water as well. And we just have those in reserve. And we have a lot of people, like I said, that reach out daily that are in need. And really, I had a gentleman the other day that he called and he felt guilty because he's like, I live in a nice apartment. And he's like, but I'm going to be totally honest with you. I didn't save and I have nothing and I have MS. So I can't get out of my building right now and I have no food. And he felt guilty about asking for help, and there's a lot of people that are in that position because a few weeks ago they were fine. They were living normal lives. And now, just because of how quickly everything happened, they don't have anything, And I just want to say to those people, don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to reach out and tell someone that you need something, because there's so many kind people in this community that are willing to help, and we'll do what we can. So just give us a call.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here, Jessie, and for that message too, and the incredible job that you continuously are doing, as well as your team at George's Greek Cafe. This is a really nice, delightful piece of feel good news for Long Beach, and we kind of need that right now.
Well, thank you for having me, Espen. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, everybody, for more local news for Long Beach, you can head on over to longbeachlocalnews.com. I'm Yasmin Tanras. Thank you so much for tuning in.